mics are hot. And I've lost my mouse. There it is.
Did you find it?
I have. Now I got it.
You
Yeah,
got
we're
it?
good.
We're good?
Hey, look, we're 2 minutes behind.
Well, that's normal.
Well, I know.
Yeah. So we're right on time.
Anticipation. We're trying to build that anticipation.
We're right on time if you weigh it against what we normally do. So
Actually, we're probably early.
I mean, it could be early.
I
bet there's a lot of
we
people.
Are, but if we keep jibber jabbering, we're going to be right on time, right?
I think that'll work.
I think
yeah.
the director's
So
getting onto us already.
that's what you give her a title and look what happens. All right. Good evening and welcome to the North Georgia Amateur Radio Regional Net. Kilo Mike 4 Golf Alpha presents the newest, most interesting net in amateur radio. We're not going to be the newest for long.
No. But still.
But still, we'll claim the title for now. Tonight we're live from Studio Vanguard, and we're linked in with the following repeaters.
I got you a list up there. Hang on.
Oh,
Yeah, well, tonight we're linked in with Abisky at 444.625, Buckhead 442.025, Currahee Mountain 444.225, Hobbit 444.350, Mount Alto at 444.95, Upson or Zebulon at 146.790, Noonan 444 even, and Signal Mountain 444.925.
All right, this net. Oh, I forgot I had a roll. This net takes place every other Thursday evening at 7 p.m. I would like to thank all of you who have joined in our mission to promote and exercise the arts and science of enjoying amateur radio. We further seek to cultivate and develop the next generation of amateur radio, both young and old.
your net control tonight is Kilo November 4 Hotel Yankee November.
And this is Kilo November 4 Hotel Yankee Mike.
Speaking of Mike, you got to get right up into that.
And this is November 4 Tango Victor Zulu Tony.
And this is Kilo Romeo 4 Hotel Bravo Uniform Rogers.
On this directed net, we will discuss this week's topic and other topics of interest. We will not discuss politics, religion, or any subject that becomes divisive or disruptive. Our goal is to bring people together to find common interest in productive and informative conversations. All conversations should be enjoyed as though our family members are in the room. Guest check-ins are welcome from anyone with a valid FCC amateur call sign. So
tonight's topic.
Wait a minute. Julie, do you know?
I have no idea.
Well, guess
What are
what?
we
That makes
talking
4
about?
of us.
I think was it David Bowie that said it? I think probably the best. Let me break.
Uh-oh.
Changes.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So there's some things changing, and we'll talk about that. And I think this is an opportunity. So we were talking about in the group chat about topics for this week and what should it be. And the Oracle of Olympus had come off with what did he say? We should talk about
life purposes and the greater good.
Yeah, which is a great topic all the time, but I really feel like that's more suited toward Saturday night sessions.
Right.
So, so I think in light of everything that's going on in the world around us related to North Georgia GMRS and North Georgia Amateur Radio Association, these are some opportunities for us to grab some sites maybe and expand a footprint and capitalize on the situation. So one of the bigger complaints that we had in North Georgia GMRS is that we're monopolizing the footprint, and there's definitely some areas where we have redundant coverages. So we might be able to turn some of those sites into ARA sites and free up those frequencies for people to stand up, their own GMRS repeaters. So these are some of the things we're looking at and thinking about. In some cases, the opportunity has been pushed upon us because we've got leases that expired and, things of that nature that we thought we were going to be on a site for a long time, but circumstances were a little bit different. So Fort Mountain is an unfortunate example of that. We expected to be there for quite a long time, but the property owner has a different...
He's got a new avenue of income stream in his Airbnbs, right?
Yeah. He's wanting to rent those. That's a cool site because it's right on the side of that mountain. He's built an Airbnb right next to where our site is,
Right.
and apparently he wants to build another one right where our site is.
I mean, he owns land.
And the only flat spot on that lot is where the repeater is.
Ah.
So it's going to be. I'm curious to see how that's going to look when it's done. And I don't know. Maybe we'll have to rent a room there. And
Maybe get a free rent.
it's a great view
or something.
across that valley. It's pretty cool. Let's break. I'll be right back. All right, so that's the topic. We're going to talk about changes. But until we get there, Julie, do you have any announcements?
I do. So, again, my name's Julie. This is Kalo November 4.
Can you pot her up? She's way down.
Sorry.
Is that better? Can everybody hear me now?
Right.
You're
So
getting there.
again, I'm Kilo November 4, Hotel Yankee Mike. My name's Julie with this week's news and announcements live from Studio Vanguard. Tune in tomorrow night for the North Georgia GMRS Network's Friday night at 9 Simplex Challenge on the Monument Repeater. Tune in to learn about emergency comms and the use of simplex frequencies. Also, beginning at 7:15, the North Georgia Amateur Radio Association Friday night at 9 2-meter simplex challenge on the N4KHQ repeater. Come test your radio's reach in the world of simplex. And don't miss Saturday night sessions, a ham radio talk group with your host Dana as he talks more about POTA and SOTA and the attraction and science behind it. So tune in this Saturday at 7 p.m. on any NGARA network repeater. Okay, so now let's get to the food and meetups, the part everyone looks forward to. Take note and jot these dates down if they catch your interest. They're an excellent opportunity to meet fellow members in your region. We're going to start with the Kennesaw Gathering. They'll have their next Meet in Geek Tuesday, September 8th at noon at Old Town Grill on Cobb Parkway, around the corner from McCollum Airport in Kennesaw at noon. Feel free to bring your radio or any mesh core programming issues you'd like to work through. After lunch, a mobile test bench will be available to test and program popular radios, assist with mesh core setup, or convert Meshtastic nodes for improved coverage. If you plan to attend, please contact Ed, Atlanta 557, beforehand on the air, or you can reach out at him via email at wrqg806@gmail.com. Again, in case you missed that, that was wrqg806@gmail.com. So they can prepare seating and ensure the proper cables and software are on hand. Next, let me break for a minute. Next up is the Chattanooga Radio Luncheon, Friday, September 18th at noon, located at Champy's Restaurant, which is found at 6515 Ringgold Road in Chattanooga, Tennessee. All GMRS users, hams, Skywarn spotters, along with friends and family are welcome. Whether you want to talk radio or something completely different, feel free to join the conversation. Please reach out to Jonathan, chat30, or Ronnie, chat 69, or Jim, chat 84 if you have any questions. Also, time for the Peachtree Corners Brunch Bunch, which will meet on September 19th at JR's Log House Restaurant, located at 6601 Peachtree Industrial Boulevard at Peachtree Corners Circle on the hill next to the bridge. They meet every third Saturday from noon until about 2:30, 3 o'clock. This upcoming gathering will be aiming to reach their previous goal challenge of 20 or more. Again, more would be great. So corral your family and friends for a delicious meal, plus a hands-on help learning about North Georgia GMRS Network. Enjoy the cool rustic setting inside JR's and get ready for a serious feast. Head over to JR's website to browse their full menu. Vegetables, casseroles, soups, and cobblers change almost daily. It's a great chance to connect call signs with the people behind them. Radio hobbyists can bring equipment and questions that you would like for them to answer. A special indoor programming booth will be available. But please confirm your attendance by texting or contacting Atlanta 849 Pamela or Atlanta 848 Ernest. You could also reach out via email at skygazerpamela, all one word, 849 at gmail.com. Again, that was skygazerpamela, 849 at gmail.com. That way they can confirm the table and chairs that are needed. We also have some quick mentions of Ham Fest that are coming to the area. We've got the Ham Fest in Chattanooga. Let me break. So again, the Ham Fest for Chattanooga will be Friday, October 16th, noon to 6 p.m., and Saturday, October 17th, from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. There is also the Stone Mountain Ham Fest. That one starts October 30th and ends October 31st at the Gwinnett County Fairgrounds, which is located at 2405 Sugarloaf Parkway, Lawrenceville. And that's it. If you have any questions, comments, or news to share, please send an email to Justin at NGGMRS.org.
Okay. All right. Well, good
Nicely
deal.
done.
And just, one thing to note with the Stone Mountain Ham Fest, historically that's been a Saturday, Sunday Ham Fest. This year it's going to be Friday and Saturday. So all the people that don't show up or leave early on Sunday will have to not show up and leave early on Saturday.
On Saturday.
If they want to do that.
Nice.
But I think the bulk of the activity will be on Saturday. So if you're going there for the forums and things like that, there will be a schedule that gets published. There's lots of good information. Last year, we had presentations at both Hamfest. I'm not sure that... I'm not sure Ed has. Well, he's not on Meets with us, is he?
No, he's not.
We'll ask him here in a little bit if he's going to present at either of these Hamfests, if he's been approached to do that. I've not been, so apparently they don't want me to talk at either one of them, which is okay.
They probably hear you enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nobody wants to hear what that guy's got to say. So, all right, well, good stuff. Should we take check-ins? Do you think there will be any?
There might be one or two.
Yeah.
One or two.
I'm gonna hope for 3 this time.
3?
Yeah.
All right.
I think Ed's already taken some check-ins. I think
he has, right?
I think he's got a couple of them in there already. And, smartly, Ed did not leave a big old
big chunk.
gap like we do for GMRS.
That's a good jump.
He's got them right there in view. I think that's a good
very
good
accurate
spacing.
amount to jump.
It's in fact I think that's pretty optimistic that we'll fill that gap. But we'll see what happens.
Ed's got faith.
All right. Are you going to sneak out?
I'm
She's sneaking out.
Okay. Well, thanks for hanging out with us, and thanks for the announcements. And
Radio dog with you.
and why don't you go ahead and sign off the air?
This is Kilo November 4, Hotel Yankee Mike. My name's Julie. Good night, everyone.
And just for identification, this is Kilo November 4, Hotel Yankee November.
November 4, Tango Victor Zulu, Tony.
And Kilo Romeo 4, Hotel Bravo Uniform, Rogers.
All right. And with that, let's go ahead and break for any check-ins. Net control standing by.
Good night, guys.
Night.
Good night.
I'm not getting any of that. I don't know if it was one person or two.
This is
There you go.
Kilo Bravo 4, Bravo Hotel, Bob in Woodstock, checking in and checking out. Net control.
I got that.
This is Kilo Quebec 4, Mike, Kilo Sierra, Duluth, Georgia, Ernest, checking in, checking out.
MK4, MK.
I'll go back and look next last week.
Net control, November 0, Delta Lima Mike, Dana top, high at top Mount Olympus. I'll be in and out tonight, but monitoring. This is November Tango 6 Bravo, NT6B, Gary in Woodstock, checking in, but I may or may not be there if you call on me later. I'll try though. This is KR4 BRU, Kilo Romeo 4, Bravo Romeo Uniform, Jonathan, Dixon, Tennessee.
That's a pretty good haul.
I got 11.
Wow. Tennessee?
We sitting on Mountain, right?
Yeah, probably.
Net control?
Right on.
Net control, this is Kilo, Quebec 4, Romeo, November, Charlie, KQ4, RNC. Steve and Lowburn checking in and checking out.
Almost thought it was right on.
Yeah.
No, Ernest has checked in before. Where is his freaking...
This is Kilo 4, Kilo Oscar Papa, K4KOP, Mark and Rome checking in.
I'll find Ernest. Get this next one.
All right. I was getting ready to go to the log, or
The roster.
the roster. See. Come on. It's lucky 13. No.
Kilo Quebec 4 MKS.
We'll change line 7. I got MS. Missed the K.
All right. The very first check-in of that group was just covered up in noise. I think I heard a hotel and a Romeo, but I'm not really even sure about that.
I don't.
So
Yeah, it was
there was a
covered up.
voice and there were some characters that were mentioned, but we really didn't get enough of it to be able to make a copy on that. So if you don't hear us call back your check-in, it's because you're not in the roster. Or it could be because I've skipped. Man, that's happened before. But I'm going to try really hard not to skip anybody. So first on the list, I've got Kilo Bravo 4 Bravo Hotel, Bob in Woodstock. Next, I've got Kilo Quebec 4, Mike Kilo Sierra, Ernest in Duluth. November 0 Delta Lima Mike, Dana, the Oracle high atop Mount Olympus. We've got the NTSB New Gary NT6 Bravo. And we've got next to Jonathan, Kilo Romeo 4 Bravo Romeo Uniform, followed by Stephen, Kilo Quebec 4 Romeo November Charlie, and Mount Avery? Mark Avery.
Mount Avery.
Mount Avery. Kilo 4 Kilo Oscar Papa. Also checking in on YouTube, we have Atlanta 179 Bradley. And I'm just going to go ahead and take a moment and say thanks for some really cool graphics. And Bradley's been doing some work generating some images that I think you're going to see on some stickers that we're going to hand out at upcoming Hamfest.
Nice.
So I think that's going to work out good. Good stuff, Bradley. I appreciate that. Next we have Whiskey 4 Delta Golf Alpha Willard and Homer checking in on YouTube. Kilo 4 November Charlie Charlie Nasser. I'm sure Nasser's not quite right. Nasser? What do you think? What's the right way to say that? However I say it, it's wrong.
Nasser.
I think it's Nasser.
And I'm just gonna move right on from that. But thanks for checking in. We've also got a GMRS call sign in here. WSDY 234 in Lawrenceville. I apologize for getting your name wrong, but we'll see if we can get that straightened out. We've got also on YouTube WSKN 610 Michael in Waco. We have WALR 713 Wayne. Wayne is somewhere. He is absolutely somewhere. We have November 4 Tango Whiskey Tango Heath. Also is somewhere.
Well, somewhere is better than nowhere.
True.
Most of the time.
And I doubt they're at the same place, but they're what?
Yeah. We've got another GMRS call, WSNG 395, Ernest in Cleveland, Georgia. We have Kilo 4 Hotel Kilo Tango Kenny in Woodstock.
Oh, we need to break.
Oh, let's break. And we've got Atlanta 102 Jackie. We don't know where Jackie's at. This log doesn't pull up the GMRS calls. We have to go to the other log for that.
Yeah, I know.
But that's all right. Jackie was at the luncheon the other day.
Yeah,
right?
I met Jackie this past weekend.
Did he bring his son or?
No, but he had his vehicle and he had some interesting antennas on there.
Nice.
Who had the 5-year-old?
Ooh, I didn't see a 5-year-old.
I thought I saw pictures of a kid.
Maybe that was before I got there, but I didn't see a 5-year-old.
All right.
I don't think.
Well, so Jackie's got a what?
He's got a van, but he's got some nice antennas on there. Very interesting.
Very nice.
Cool guy.
All right.
Cool guy. What's up, Jackie?
All right. Good to have met. Well, for somebody to have met.
Yeah.
I can never get over there on a Saturday.
No.
Just too much going on. We've also got Shay, WSFF 600 in Columbus, Georgia. We got Kilo Quebec 4 Papa Foxtrot Bravo Mark in Adairsville. Atlanta 251 Frank and Atlanta 252 Valerie. Frank and Valerie are hanging out with us on YouTube tonight.
Nice.
And we've got Kilo November 4 Sierra Lima Tango. Don't have a name, but we do have a state. Well, the nickname says Florida.
Yeah.
So thanks for hanging out with us from Florida. So all these GMRS call signs on a ham net. What's up with that? Well, they're not actually on the air.
Nope, not on the air.
Because they're checking in on YouTube. And basically, you don't really even have to have a call sign if you're checking in on YouTube.
Yep.
They're not going to speak on the air. We're just going to speak about them and say, thanks, everybody that's watching and hanging out on YouTube for listening in and participating.
And the YouTubes are still rolling in.
And, yeah, I see that. So November 4, Echo Foxtrot Golf, Scott, from his new house in North Carolina.
Nice.
So good stuff. All right. Thanks, Ed, for keeping up with the YouTube check-ins. Ed's usually right here with us, but we're gonna check in with him in RF here in a little while and see if Ed has any comments from the YouTube chat that he wants to bring to the floor. So changes. What changes?
This network's still linked.
It is. This network didn't change at all. We are a linked amateur radio network. We have, is it 7 or 8 repeaters that we have on the air right now? So we have, I see 1, 2.
How many? Yeah. We called them off earlier, but now I forgot. Let me see if I can go find them on the
4, 5,
old interwebs.
6, 7, 8. 8 repeaters are on the air tonight, and we've got some changes coming. So we unfortunately we're not on Fort Mountain. Let me break. We're not on Fort Mountain anymore, and I've heard some pretty silly rumors about how that whole thing went down. And
the mountain's still there, though,
the
right?
mountain is still there.
Okay.
And the tower's still there, but probably not for long.
No.
It's my understanding that the tower owner wants to do something else with that property. So, yeah, okay, there I am. So he's wanted to do something else with the property. Asked us to come remove the equipment. So that's what we did.
Well, he's got to build an Airbnb there.
We're looking at another site nearby. I don't know if that's going to pan out or not. I don't even know if we've entered into negotiations with the property owner. My suspicion is that they're going to want more than we're going to want to give to be on that site. So, but there's some other alternatives that we're looking at as well, and we've got some sites that are in development. We've got a site over in Ducktown that we're looking forward to getting on that one, and we've got some other things in the works that really too early to talk about. But I see some growth on the horizon on the NG ARA. And, there's been some concern about the decommissioning of some of our GMRS sites. And but when you really take a look at what kind of coverage we have with NG GMRS, really those are redundantly overlapping sites. The footprint really hasn't changed any. So we're gonna cut some costs. We're gonna free up some airspace in that region, so others can put up repeaters. That seems to be one of the common complaints, is that nobody can put up a repeater. It's not true. Lots of people have put up repeaters within our footprint, and so here's the big misconception: if you have 2 repeaters that are on the same frequency, they're going to intermod.
Right.
And that's false. They're not going to intermod unless both repeaters are active at the same time. And the chances of that happening are not that great. Unless somebody's accessing both repeaters, like if they were linked on the same network and on the same frequency, then there's going to be a problem. But and we've seen that. We had that problem with Fort Mountain and Dallas at one time.
Right.
Those 2 machines were fighting each other quite a lot. We took Dallas off the air, fixed that problem. So, the idea that GMRS linking might be okay to happen, if you use a single repeater pair, that's not feasible. That's just not going to work. It's just that would never fly. It would just be nothing but noise. So you have to spread the adjacent repeaters out over some frequencies to make that happen. But here in North Georgia Amateur Radio Association, our repeaters are all coordinated. So we've got no concerns. There's lots of frequencies available in 440, so we've got no concerns about that. And let's break. We'll come right back. And so we're definitely going to be on the lookout for locations that make sense. Now, what makes sense in a large footprint linked repeater system? From our experience in GMRS, it kind of doesn't make sense to go too far out of your range. So I don't know that we're going to be going too much farther than what our North Georgia GMRS footprint was. And in some cases, we might not even want to go that far. So we get into situations where you have conversations that are going on. And some of the complaints that I saw with regard to GMRS linking was that I don't want to hear what these two guys, over in Columbus are talking about having for breakfast when I'm all the way up here in Ringgold. All right, well, that's the nature of the network, and if that's not something you want to participate in, there's lots of other repeaters you can listen to. You don't have to be here. So that is, and if it's not your cup of tea, then definitely go somewhere else. I'm not suggesting that people need to go away. What I'm suggesting is that if you don't like what the network offers, then go find what you do like, because there's lots of opportunity in amateur radio. And so I think that if this is something that interests you, then we definitely want to expand the service here, because we can. We're not in violation of anything in linking in the amateur radio side of things. So
and just like with how we have Simplex every Friday night, I recently found out that I was able to hit the Madonna repeater on the GMRS side. So, and they just so happened to be having a lunch the following day, or breakfast, and they invited me there. So, like you're saying, I see it as an opportunity to meet people that maybe we normally wouldn't have met, or reach out to different repeaters that we normally wouldn't talk to. So, well, it's not bad.
Speaking of opportunities, and I don't think I'm supposed to announce this, so everybody that's listening right now, pretend that you didn't hear this.
Or just keep it on the amateur side.
But I believe on September 8th at 7:30 p.m., they're going to be hosting a GMRS net on the McDonough repeater. So definitely don't go tune in, and definitely don't go checking into that net. Because I wasn't really supposed to make that announcement. But I think in time that that'll have the opportunity to grow and become its own thing. I don't know. At this point, I think that might just be perhaps a monthly net. I don't believe they intend to do it weekly. I think it's going to be a monthly net. So we'll see how that plays out. And if none of you go there and tune in and check in, then certainly it won't go very far. But who knows? It could be the next big thing. Let's break. So these are some of the changes that are coming and some of the things that are in the air, and we'll see what opportunities arise as we go, and we'll go from there. So with that in mind, let me go ahead and take one more round of check-ins, because we only did the one.
Right.
Let's take one more round of check-ins. I've got 4, 5, 6, 7 spots. So we can't take any more than 7. That's our hard limit, right?
Yeah.
I guess if we get more than that, we'll just have to leapfrog around the YouTube net check-ins. But one more round of check-ins before we go into our roster, and then we'll. So one more thing to make mention of: in amateur radio in North Georgia ARA, we don't do in and out. You're logged. I mean,
everybody's in.
You could do in and out if you check in on YouTube, because I don't have a way to talk to you there, but or you don't have a way to talk to me. Is the truth. But in amateur, we're going to call on everybody in the roster. And if you're there, that's great. And if you're not, we'll figure it out. It'll be okay. It'll be just fine. Yep. So let's go ahead and take some additional check-ins on the North Georgia Amateur Radio Association. Oh, before we do, Kilo November 4, Hotel Yankee November. My name is Justin.
November 4, Tango Victor Zulu. Tony.
Kilo Romeo 4, Hotel Bravo Uniform. Rogers.
All right, we'll stand by for some additional check-ins.
This is Kilo Romeo 4 Echo Kilo Hotel KR4 EKH Dan and Marietta, and I guess guess I will be checking in, although I don't really know what the topic is. I think I was that first person that you couldn't make out. I was on the Bisky repeater. I'm on Buckhead now. A couple of weeks ago, Bisky worked great for me. Don't know why it's not working now. This is
I got this one.
Net Control. This is KR4GWB Kilo Romeo 4 Golf Whiskey Bravo Rhino on Cheshire Bridge Road. Check me in, please. Net Control.
Net Control.
You got that one?
Which one?
13.
Net Control. This is KR4MOY Kilo Romeo 4 Mike Oscar Yankee Bill in Cave Springs checking in. Net Control.
That sounds like the noodle.
That's the
Net
noodle.
Control, November 0, Delta Lima once again. Just got a text, KR4 LOL, Lima Oscar Lima wanted me to relay him in.
Okay.
I guess we'll let the relay be out.
Yeah. Yeah, because he's a relay. He never answers us anyway.
Nah.
Yeah.
He's cooking or something, bro.
Something. That's all right. All right, we're going to go ahead and acknowledge this round of check-ins. We've got Kilo Romeo 4 Golf Whiskey Bravo Rhino on Cheshire Bridge Road. Did I get that right?
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that. He's on a bridge road somewhere. Rhino is in tonight. We've got Dan, Kilo Romeo 4 Echo Kilo Hotel. We got a good copy on you this time, Dan, so that's odd that that happened, but we've got you in here. And by way of relay, we've got Kilo Romeo 4 Laughing Out Loud, LOL Randall in Buford. And we also have Kilo Romeo 4 Mike Oscar Yankee, Bill in Cave Springs.
Missed it by 3. Missed it by 3.
We missed it by 3, but we're close enough, and who knows? Maybe we'll fill those 3 at the end. So with that, and the topic in mind, it changes. For the better, for the worse, regardless, it's something that you go through in just about every aspect of your life in one way or another. And so, it's all about attitude, right? When something like this comes about, and it kind of turns what you think your world is upside down, and it really did. I mean, and for a lot of us. But now that we're on the back end of this and we're in compliance, it's really not that big of a deal.
Right.
And like for what we do, there's almost no change at all. The audience was just as big in our last net as it's ever been. So I think that some of those audience people have transitioned to YouTube rather than RF. I think we did have a pretty good representation of RF check-ins. But we also had a boatload of YouTube check-ins. So it works. And maybe it's not the best thing that we can do, but it's really, I mean, I don't know what else we can do at this moment in terms of being able to access a wider audience. So Flagship is a wonderful machine. And the way around that, if linked repeater operations is really where you want to be, then North Georgia Amateur Radio Association is.
Yeah, I just wish some of, like your wife has a call sign. Mine doesn't, so I'm not going to be able to get her on the amateur side. So,
well, I mean, at some point we may be able to work something out. I don't know. I mean, she's going to have to take a test.
Yeah, I know.
What I hope to do, and we just did this over the weekend. We had a couple of people successfully upgrade to Amateur Extra, and they are now going to be part of our VE system. So they're volunteer examiners with the Laurel VE, and they're part of the North Georgia VE team. So we have, let me break. we have a VE team that offers free amateur radio testing. So and literally it's absolutely free. There's no cost to you at all. I got to pay for my gas to get there. Everybody else got to pay for their and justify their time, all of that stuff. But there's no charge for you to sit and take the test. And I would encourage everybody that has even a little interest in doing that. And even over the weekend, there was one who took the test that unfortunately didn't make it. But she sat through the test, and that I think is a big step in that direction. So even though she doesn't have a license, she does have the experience of sitting through the test. She has some awareness of what the process and what the method is, what the time frame is, what the environment is, and hopefully the next time there's an opportunity to test, there'll be a comfort level with that. But we did graduate a technician, and we promoted 2 extras. So
Nice.
we intend to do this wherever and whenever it makes sense. Now, there's a lot of clubs. Like, for instance, we've done this over here at the library right. Here in Woodstock. But, the Cherokee Amateur Radio Society, they have testing right here once a month, right here in Woodstock.
Right.
I don't know what weekend it is, which part of the month it is. We could find out easily enough. But it's already there and it's available. It's $15 to test with them. It's free to test with us. But, really, it's $15. So they're here every month. And in your area, there's probably a ham club that's testing every month. They might be Laurel, and it's free. They might be using it as a source of revenue for the club.
Right. And
it's, the most you can charge is $15. I've seen where some clubs are only charging $10. So here's the thing: we've got expenses in a computer, we've got expenses in a printer, paper, folders and organizing, office supplies. We've got $400, $500, $600 in expenses because it's a used computer. We didn't go buy a new one. And that's a reality in terms of if you want to put something like this together. And then there's the expense and the time related to travel to the various locations. I'm willing to foot those expenses. And North Georgia Amateur Radio Association has basically, they've reimbursed me for the hardware.
Right.
They bought the printer. They bought all the office supplies. The laptop is mine, but it's my laptop. I can use it for whatever I want in addition to testing. So we may get a dedicated machine specifically for testing. That's something that we've talked about, but we're not really at the point where that's a need. So trying to control costs too. Let's break. But in the grand scheme of things, all of these things have already paid for. So now it's just a matter of the fuel and the time. And I'm going to do this stuff anyway. So what I need from the audience is a group of people that want to take a test. Tell me that you're getting ready to take your technician's test and you'll be ready in 2 weeks. Well, let's try to find a room. Right. Libraries are great, but there's other places too. Maybe it's a classroom at a church. Maybe it's a classroom at a school. Right. Maybe it's a gymnasium. Maybe it's a park pavilion or a shelter house.
There you go.
I mean, there's lots of things. Primarily, we want to try to find spaces that are free. Right. Free is the name of the game here because we're trying to keep our costs under control so that it doesn't cost people that have to pay to take a test. Right. We want to give that test for free as often as we can. So let's focus on these things, and anybody that has any interest in becoming an amateur, and I'm not about making sure everybody that takes the test passes. I want you to take the test, and I hope that you pass. But if you don't pass, I want you to learn from that experience and be comfortable in that, and so that when you come back around to test again, you've got some of that under your belt, and now we can just focus on the material. And hamstudy.org is a great way. It looks like we've timed out. Let me break again and see if we can reset. Okay, so it sounds like I timed out on a couple of the repeaters, Buckhead and Bisky.
Yeah,
is what I'm getting. So
what it looked like.
if that's the case, then basically what we're talking about is finding a location and
A free location too.
and opportunities to present tests. We've got the resources to do it. We've got people that are willing to volunteer. It takes me and 3 other people. So if it's all technicians that are testing, then I've got more than a dozen
Right.
volunteers that I can use.
Mm.
If people are wanting to upgrade, then I've got about 8 volunteers that I can use. So we've got pretty good staff, and we can continue to grow that if we need to. And ultimately, I'd like to see some of the staff members that I have kind of break off as managing VEs and start conducting their own sessions.
Right.
So we're on the way to doing this, and we're on the way to converting anybody that is a GMRS user to ham radio, anybody that's willing. And that's also another opportunity. So what happens to North Georgia GMRS?
Nothing.
Pretty much nothing. The infrastructure is still there. All the repeaters are still there with a small group that are coming down. If you go to the NGGMRS webpage and look at the repeater list, it'll show you the sites that are planned for decommissioning. There may be a couple more over time that come
Right.
down for various reasons. And we'll just have to see how that plays. So we've got one site we're looking at converting from GMRS because we have so little activity on the GMRS site, and we think it would have a lot of activity in ham. So that might be a natural conversion. I don't know for sure. We'll just have to see how that plays. But that's good stuff. Let's go to the top of the roster and see. Well, let's check in with Ed and see if he has anything that he'd like to share, and go from there. Before we do, Kilo November 4, Hotel Yankee November.
November 4, Tango Victor Zulu, Tony.
And Kilo Romeo 4, Hotel Bravo Uniform, Rogers.
All right, Ed, have you got anything from the YouTube chat you'd like to share?
Well, good evening, folks. Yeah, a couple of things. KQ4 WEB, Ed in Kennesaw. Ernest made a comment about it being nice if we had some other types of repeaters, 6 and 10 meter repeaters. He said that he thinks that those might have a little bit broader coverage. So I don't know, Justin, if that's in the plan for the future. I know right now all our repeaters are 70 centimeter, and we do have one that's a 2 meter, but just asking about in the future potentially having 6 and 10. And then also, just wanted to put my own plug in there for Laurel testing. It was a great experience this weekend, and I would encourage anybody that's on the fence to take it, no expense. And you mentioned letting you know, but you want to share your preferred method for people to reach out and let you know that they're interested in the test and ready to take it.
You gonna make it over there? Is that Mountain Dew strong?
It's tough stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm looking for another bottle of it. I don't think I have any here.
Uh-oh.
I brought some. Yeah. Kilo November 4 Hotel Yankee November. My name is Justin. Just a moment to gather my thoughts here. Preferred method for contact would be Justin at NGGMRS.org. Pretty simple. Just send me an email with any questions or opportunities that you might have with relation to setting up a testing event. So if you've got a location, we can make a reservation, have a date.
Mike,
Oh. Is that because I'm coughing?
You hit the cough button and held it.
And I just
So
I forgot to let
nobody
go of
heard
it.
anything you were just
Oh,
saying.
for crying out. Thanks, Dana.
You had bumped your audio to the max over here. I'm like,
Like,
why?
What's going
why
on?
did it go down?
So yeah, I just finished a coughing fit, and in any case, the preferred contact is Justin at ngGMRS.org. Just send me an email with questions, or if you have an opportunity for us to test. If you can find a conference room at a fire station, at a library,
Right.
at a school, at a church, any of those kind of locations, We prefer to find locations that are free
and indoor.
and indoor. And if you know of a Laurel group that is trying to put on a testing session and they're short of VE,
Right.
we can step in and help out with that as well. So we think that we'll have enough VEs to be able to conduct testing just about anywhere. The idea being that if I've got plenty of people, then not everybody has to show up every time.
Right.
That way, when somebody goes, you're going to Florida,
Couple weeks.
and you've got work out of town sometimes. So when these things come up, it's no big deal. We've got plenty of people in the mix. And so last week we had 4 people testing,
Mm-hmm.
but we had 6 VEs, and everybody had the opportunity to conduct a session as a VE.
There you go.
So it will do that to get your name in the log, so that
Right.
you've got that under your belt, and we can share the workload that way. Now, ideally, we would have 3 VEs and a manager at any one of our testing events, but that's the way that one worked out. We had 6 VEs there, and I just made sure that everybody had at least one test that they could VE for, and that way we had everybody
Nice.
covered. So with a combination of technician and upgrades to extra,
It worked out.
we were able to utilize some of the generals. So good stuff. Anything else, Ed?
No, that was it. Thanks.
Oh, you talked about the 6 and 10 meter.
Yeah, and any
Oh,
kind
the 6 and 10 meter repeaters. Yeah, we didn't really address that. So I would say that the answer isn't no. It never is. I don't know that that's really been discussed. I don't think that's a part of the plan.
Right.
And I don't know what's available for repeaters in 10 meter.
I think repeater book always showed like a 10 meter at Bisky, but I don't know that it's ever worked. So I don't know how old that listing might be or something
Yeah.
like that. I don't know.
Well, and there's that other site on the other side of the hill, the fire station from us. I have no idea what's in that shelter.
Right.
I have no idea what equipment's over there. So, and there's 2 or 3 other sites on that ridge line. So there's a FAA radio installation down there at the Eagles Rest. If you've ever gone all the way back
No.
to the end of that road,
Just been up there that one time.
there's a radio installation, and I think they call that Mount Oglethorpe, all the way at the end of the road. That and that's got like an FM radio station. It's got a whole bunch of stuff there. I don't even know what all's there. And there's probably some combination of amateur / GMRS stuff down there. I know at one time there was some GMRS stuff down there. And on your way to that is at least one, and probably more than one, ham tower that you'll see, on the road there. So there's several sites up on that ridge line.
No, it's a 6 meter site, actually. It's not 10, it's a 6. But it's listed as Jasper Bisky Mountain. That's all it is.
Okay.
But, I mean, there's... Yeah, not in this area. There's no 6. I don't think there's any 10 either, is there? I don't know. Maybe there's one in Dalton.
So, I mean, and we're not exclusively a 440 repeater group. We
Right.
do have
We have one
a 2 meter repeater. And 2 meters is a little tougher to get coordination on,
Right.
but it's not impossible. And
Right.
so wherever we see an opportunity in 2 meter, we'll pursue that. But I kind of like the idea of having the fleet, in the same band, because then on your one radio, you can plug all those repeaters in and be
Correct.
able to grab them. I don't think I have a radio that does 6 meters.
My 991 does.
I mean, my HF radio will do 6
Yeah.
meters, but
Yeah.
I don't
have any
I don't
H-
have a mobile.
No, I don't have any mobile either.
So
I use my 891 as a mobile. Well, I use everything as a mobile. So I'm all mobiled out over here.
yeah.
Okay.
So all right, well, good stuff. Thanks, Ed. And with that, let's let me find my roster. It's right behind this screen, and let's see who else do we have. So we've got. Looks like Bob is first on the list. Bob said he was going to be in and out, but we don't do that around here. So let's see if Bob is hanging out with us. That's going to be Kilo Bravo 4 Bravo Hotel. Bob, any questions or comments for new opportunities and changes in North Georgia Amateur Radio Association?
I can't really think of anything. What I was thinking, though, at one time was on the ARA side, maybe having one of the repeaters that isn't linked, kind of like what we did at GMRS with Monument, in case other people wanted to speak. The same reason why you did it for Monument, I guess. That's the only thing I was thinking.
Well, that's not a bad plan. We kind of already have that with Pete's repeater.
Yeah. The 2 meter repeater.
Yeah, the 2 meter repeater that Pete has up there. There's also, does he not have a 220 repeater up there?
He has all three, doesn't he? He has a 440 machine as well, I think.
Does he really?
I think so. But I know he has a 220 machine as well.
Okay, all right. So
and Bob probably could hit the 220 from his house.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, Pete loves to hear traffic on his machine. So if you don't want to be on a linked system and you want to be engaged in local communications, that's a great option. And just about everywhere you go, I think, no matter where you're at within our footprint, I think you'll be able to find a local repeater that'll get you off of our network if you just want to be able to chat with somebody that's nearby.
Yeah, but Pete's machine that 2 meter has a big footprint.
Yeah, and Pete's a big supporter of North Georgia Amateur Radio Association. That's why we do our Simplex Challenge on his repeater. We're there by his invitation, and we really enjoy working side by side. Pete's up at Flagship all the time.
Right.
He's up there a lot, and he just loves the location and the site and the opportunity to serve the community with radios. So he's he's just he's one of these people that you learn something just by being around them.
Right.
They don't even realize they're teaching you things because they're just so much knowledge and just the way he does things sometimes can be an opportunity to.
And I heard him, and I don't know who it was, talking a couple days ago. Well, maybe it was last week. He's really into AI.
Is he?
Pete is, and you wouldn't think he would be, but Pete is really into AI.
That's
really amazing.
That's and I'm completely not.
I am either.
I am so like I don't know, and I think of myself as kind of a tech nerd, but AI is just not something that I don't write with it. I don't use it at work.
But think about the show today. Embrace the change.
Embrace it,
Justin. It's here.
You're not
coming.
wrong. You're not
It
wrong.
is coming fast.
And I tell my guys at work, you need to learn how to utilize AI. And one of the guys he's taking that challenge very seriously, and I think he's going to be in that role for a good long while. I don't think I'm going to be in that role for a long while.
Yeah.
We'll see if I make it to retirement or not. I don't know. I think things are going to change. So I've got I still pay my union dues. I've got options.
And Studio B.
Studio B.
Is being formed. The new Studio B.
We're not too far from it. You guys saw it yesterday. So last night I was able to get the backer rod shoved down into those cracks. We're gonna do some crack fill.
There you go. Get the floor ready.
Get the floor. Yeah, we're just making progress. Let's break. Kilo November 4 Hotel Yankee November.
November 4 Tango Victor Zulu Tony.
And Kilo Romeo 4 Hotel Bravo Uniform Rogers.
So good stuff. Well, thanks for that, Bob. That's a great suggestion. And I think those are the best answers that we can offer at this time.
Right.
And, there's lots of things we can do with amateur repeaters. And one of the things that we kind of kicked around, I wouldn't suggest that we're seriously going down the road at this moment. But, once you get into the DMR side of things, you've got multiple talk groups.
Mm-hmm.
So now you can do all kinds of things in terms of being able to have maybe one side of the DMR that's linked and the other side that's local.
Right.
So I don't know a lot about DMR. It's not something that I really engage in, but I think that there's opportunities there. So for now, we're going to be an analog network.
Right.
But that's not a closed conversation.
Right.
And so I think that as time goes on, we'll take a harder look at that. And if it makes sense to make a move, then we will. But well, for the short term, for the next couple of years as we build the network out, I think you can plan on it being strictly analog. All right, we've got Ernest in Duluth, Kilo Quebec for Mike Kilo Sierra. Ernest, any comments for tonight's net?
Well, actually, I think that was his comment. Or what did Ed say?
I talked to Bob.
No, yeah, but Ed
Yeah,
made a comment that
Was it?
that Ernest made.
What was it? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Kilo Quebec for Mike Kilo Sierra, Ernest in Duluth. Thanks for calling on me, Justin. Great net so far, but I think it hit on the point that I might have suggested, but y'all talked it out good, so I think we're good to go. Y'all continue on. I'll be listening. KQ4MKS.
All right, Ernest, say hello to Pamela for us, and we'll continue right along. Next on the list is the Noodle, November 0, Delta Lima Mike. Dana, what are your thoughts with regard to the changes that have come and changes that are coming?
Well, good evening, guys. November 0, Delta Lima Mike up here on Mount Olympus. And, guys, hey, I've been saying it for a little bit now, onward and upward. You made a great remark, Justin, when one door closes, another one opens. And, man, let me tell you something. There's so much excitement of the possibilities and the growth that's going to be occurring on both networks. I mean, North Georgia Network, GMRS, has not gone anywhere. It's going to be there forever. And, as far as the amateur radio side, boy, get ready. It's going to blast off, and I'm excited to be a part of it. Back to you guys.
Yeah, it's kind of fun, and just like the new net that's going to start up down in McDonough, that I don't know that opportunity really existed while we were a GMRS linked network.
Right.
So, and we were talking about introducing a new net, and I spoke with a potential new net controller, and then we ran into, okay, when are you going to do it? Because we've got stuff going on Wednesday nights. We've got stuff going on Tuesday with the Skywarn net. Right. We've got stuff going on Thursday.
You got Wednesdays covered, too.
With those knuckleheads. Yeah, Wednesdays.
Yep.
So that leaves, we got Friday night Simplex Challenge, so we don't really want to do a net then.
Sunday was the only night available.
Yeah, there's some kind of a sessions thing that goes on Saturdays.
Right.
Where they talk about the meaning of life and... a
lot of rag chew.
Yeah, the greater purpose. I'm not sure what that is.
The Oracle will let you know.
Yeah, the Oracle show. Yeah, the Saturday night Oracle show. So that leaves Sunday and Monday. Mm-hmm. And but now we've got, now that all the repeaters are unlinked, we've got lots of opportunities for nets. So if you have it in your heart to be a net control operator on a local repeater near you, and you want to engage in a program, reach out to me. Let me know what your thoughts are, what you'd like to do, and we'll see if we can get that approved and something in the works to make that happen. So, the guys in McDonough want to keep it low key, and I get it. But at the same time, this is a great opportunity for more programs of that nature to come up.
Right.
So I think there's going to be some changes happening too in the Chattanooga area. And I don't know what that looks like yet. I think they're still talking about it, still trying to figure out how that's gonna play and where everything's gonna land. So maybe by the time we get to the Chattanooga Hamfest, we'll have an idea of what's going on with that. But speaking of changes, we're not too far from pulling all of the video gear out of Vanguard.
Right.
Making it ready to hit the road. And cleaning it up quite a bit. I think it's ready for that. When we pull these monitors out of here, we'll have the chance to really get in and clean up these wiring trays and do a deep clean in here. And I think this will be it's just what Vanguard needs.
Right.
And so as soon as we start getting things set up in Studio B, this thing will be a lot more deployable and can show up at events and be able to do things. So if there's an emergency that happens someplace,
Right.
we'll be able to make Vanguard useful for that. Right now, something happened, and they called and they said, we want Vanguard. Man, I'd be a better part of a day getting it ready just to transport.
It'd take 2 or 3 of us a good 4 or 5 hours to get it mobile.
Yeah, anyway. So we've got that coming up. Let's break. And we're definitely going to have Vanguard at the Chattanooga Ham Fest. So there'll be a chance to see it all cleaned up and all this video stuff. Some of the screens are going to stay, but most of the video stuff is coming out. And this will become a mobile communications platform like it was originally meant to be. So that'll be good. That'll be another good change.
Yep.
Coming forward, we've got the National Transportation Safety Board, NTSB Gary.
New Gary.
NT6B. Gary, do you have any comments for tonight's net? And what do you think?
What's a big change coming for you?
Yeah. What do you see changing on your horizon?
Hey, this is NT6B. I happen to be on an HD up on the roof, but I hope you're in okay.
Did we lose him? Had him for a minute, but he turned.
You say he was on the roof?
It sounded like he said he was on the roof.
Be careful.
But yeah, that's what I would love to see is just...
Yeah, you got to stand still.
All right, we lost most of that, Gary. We had you real strong at the start, and I think you started pacing.
So face north and stand still. And
yeah. So don't get too close to the edge, but definitely try that again. Try to stand still.
Yeah, if you could see me, I'm just dead still on the peak of the roof, so don't know if I'm making it. But yeah, I just want to get more nets, more traffic on the air. I love hearing people chatter on the air, so that's it for me. NT6B, back to net.
Perfect copy of that.
Yeah, you were loud and clear that time.
That was awesome. Night and day difference. So good stuff. Thanks, Gary. And yeah.
Be safe up there. Put an antenna up, maybe?
Yeah. Well, probably.
I don't know.
Probably some network stuff. Microwave shot or something. Who knows?
I don't know.
Maybe he's just enjoying the view from high above. But definitely monitoring the traffic and hanging out, listening in. I love, when I'm here on the property and the radio's going throughout the day, I love being able to just stop and listen to some of these conversations that are going on. And it's fun stuff just to be able to catch up on what's happening in our radio community.
Right.
So I'm pleased that there's still a lot of that going on. My fear was that a lot of that was going to go away, and I believe it probably has on some of the outlying repeaters.
Right.
But here, in the middle of things, we're still pretty busy.
Right. Have your Ag 2 on the ARA side.
Absolutely. Yeah. If you're on flagship and you're just having a conversation, you're both hams, jump on over to ARA and
the Bisky Sky
and make it busy over here.
Yep.
So, all right, next we've got Kilo Romeo 4, Bravo Romeo Uniform. That's going to be Jonathan in Hickson. Jonathan, any comments, any concerns, and what's your favorite part of the changes that are afoot?
Well, I tell you, I hate to see the White Oak Mountain repeater go because that's the only GMRS repeater that I can effectively hit from my house. It's weird with Lookout Mountain because the Chattanooga Amateur Radio Club has their 145390 2-meter repeater at basically the same location as the NG GMRS Lookout repeater, and I can't receive either one of those at all well when the leaves are on the trees. When the leaves are off, it gets usable. I guess is the best word. With the leaves on the trees, I can hear them, but they're weak and scratchy. So without White Oak, I'll kind of be slightly isolated here in the house, but the reality is I think myself and Howard Chat 51 were the only ones who ever used the White Oak repeater. So And with that being, what, a good 4-hour drive for Gary to go from Noonan up to the White Oak to service it, I can totally understand, the reasonings behind deciding to shut it down. Hate to see it go, but totally understand. But now with the Signal Mountain 440 repeater here, which I'm talking on right now, well, I guess we'll just be talking to you all on the NGARA side instead of the GMRS side. And I'd like to encourage everybody there listening on YouTube who is currently a GMRS operator to step up and get your technician's license. That's all you need to talk on the NGARA network, and the technician's license is not a hard one to get. Not hard at all. So we'll look forward to talking to you guys in the future.
Well, that's good stuff, Jonathan. And I think that's the right answer too.
Right.
I think for a lot of us, moving into an amateur license, getting your technician's license, it's not a big step. It's not for everybody, and there's a lot of people that are in GMRS, and that's just, GMRS is where they belong. All right, it's attainable, it's achievable, and some people, it's not a matter of smarts, it's a matter of the pressure that you face when you're taking a test. Mm-hmm. I've known plenty of smart people that would not be able to pass a test, not because they don't know the material, but because they just jam up when they're under that kind
Some
of
people
pressure.
do that in interviews. I did that once in an interview.
Yeah.
I knew everything he was asking me. It just drew a blank and bombed that.
Yeah,
bombed it.
I think I've done that myself as well.
Yeah, it's hard, and that's why I think it's good. And I know Dana took his one online because of his vision, so that you got people that need to be able to do that too. So
That's right, and that's a great point, because I do have the ability to print out some large font
print
test sheets. I need to go ahead and do that, because right now, I don't have a way to accommodate anybody that has any vision needs.
problems.
So,
okay,
that's something we'll have to take a look at. If you've got special needs, and I tell you, if you've got special needs and you're testing with anybody,
right,
let them know before you get there.
Yeah,
because it's not necessarily something that we can automatically take care of, but with a little bit of advance notice, probably we can, or we can let you know that no, we can't. So it'd be worth having a conversation prior to the testing. So
and you know what, Justin, I would say that's even more of an incentive for people to get their technician license.
Right.
If they are already in North Georgia GMRS, you're gonna go over to the ham side and still talk to the same people.
Same people.
If
well,
not
a lot of the same people.
More,
yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So the fun continues basically.
Right.
Now we still get into the situation, where the kids live down the street, and there's no way you're going to get your son or your daughter to take an amateur radio test. It's just not going to happen.
Right.
And GMRS is perfect for that. But if they live down the street, probably you can hit the same repeater, and the fact that we're no longer linked is not a big deal.
Right.
But when you live in Chattanooga and your family member lives, in the middle of the state of Georgia,
or McDonough,
then the linking system becomes a much bigger deal. Hopefully, that's a conversation that can transition over to ham, and if it can, and there's anything that we can do to help, let us know.
Right.
Because that's the whole thing with the way that we're set up to do testing. I'm not locked into testing at one location. We can go pretty much anywhere.
Right.
And I'd like to have a couple of people. Let's break. I'd like to have a couple of people, 3 or 4 people, 5, 6 people, when we go to test, but I don't have to.
Right.
And so if you get into a situation where you can't get out, you can't get to your local amateur radio, you don't have the means to do that, let us know. And if there's a way that we can help get something done, we will endeavor.
Because we need 3 and then the director, right?
That's right.
Is that the way it works?
That's right. We need 3 VEs.
So
and
4 people can. It takes 4 people to administer one test.
Mm-hmm. That's right. As an administrator or a manager, a session manager, I can't be a
session
VE.
right. Correct.
And what is the age? Because the youngest age that you can test. Because when I took my test last year at Chattanooga, There's a kid in there. I say kid, but he was all of 14, 15 maybe.
Right.
I don't think
Taking
there
the
is an
test.
age restriction.
There's
think
not, but I think there's something to when you take the test. There's something involved with it. I think something because there was a young boy in the test that I took at Chattanooga but I didn't get my free salad. But at that place, and they stopped for a second, and he had to move to a different seat, and I do something else. I was busy taking my test, but I think there might be something involved with it.
Okay, I'm not sure what that would be.
We'll definitely look into it.
But historically, there have been a number of very, very young hams.
Right.
Like 5 years old in that range.
Yeah.
So, it's certainly attainable.
Yeah.
And you've got these kids that are just they just absorb information. So if you've got a kid like that,
Why not?
the beauty of it is you get a ham radio license at 5 years old. You don't have to take that test ever again.
Right.
So, and here's something that's interesting. All right, the other side of the North Georgia VE team meets regularly down in Noonan, and there's a monthly test session down there that Rod puts on. Rod Bailey is who trained me to do this testing, and he had a case just in the last couple of weeks where an individual had let their amateur license lapse for like 2 decades. And all they had to do was pass the technician to have their original rights restored.
Nice.
So their license had been expired for a very, very long time. So if you get into a situation and you can achieve a high-level license as a kid, as a teenager, or even as a younger kid than that,
right,
that license is yours for life. And if you let it lapse, you can get it back. All you have to do is pass the technician, and your original privileges are restored. So
probably lose your call, but you'll get a new call.
Yeah, I'm probably going to lose. Well, yeah, most likely.
But still.
And you can vanity out of that anyway and get into whatever's available for a vanity call. Because, I mean, as life goes on, our vanities change, don't they?
Don't they? Yes, they do.
All right. Let's continue on. Next on the list is Kilo Quebec 4, Romeo November Charlie, Stephen in Lilburn. Stephen, what are some of the changes that you're looking forward to, and what do you think you might miss the most?
Steven. He didn't hear nobody's out.
That's all right. All right, we're going to keep right on trucking and go next to Mark, high atop
Mount Avery.
Mount Avery. He is Mount Avery.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of a both.
Yeah, kind of both. All right.
Works both ways.
Kilo 4 Kilo Oscar Papa Mark, your turnaround.
Uh-oh.
All right, K4KOP here, Mark in Rome. First, right off the bat, I want to say congratulations to Ed and Jen on getting their extra, and also to Jen's husband and Jim's wife for both getting their technician license. So it's good to see people advancing on and then seeing you people come in. And if the person that failed the test is listening, I would just say there is no shame in that. A bunch of people have failed. Like you said, sometimes people get nervous during a test. Just to stay at it and try again. You'll get it. We got faith in you. Let me reset. So I am currently studying for my extra. Again, I've started and stopped a couple of times. And one of the things I wanted to say is if you've got your GMRS license and you're looking to get into ham and you start the material the first day looking at all the questions and it seems daunting and impossible to pass that test. Some people say it's easy, but for some people, if you've never seen that type of material, can kind of scare you off. I would just say stick with it, keep studying for a week or so, and you'll see that you start to remember this information.
Let me reset one more time. So, as far as the future and the changes, I just will say that my radio journey started with North Georgia GMRS. I had both licenses, and I found the network to be my home. I looked at other ham clubs. Nothing really looked interesting, or it wasn't a group I wanted to be involved with, and so everything started with the network. So I'm just looking forward to seeing what happens. Change can be good, and it's good to see all the repeaters going up on the ARA side. Rome repeater is good and strong. That's what I'm talking on now. Let me reset. So yeah, looking forward to it. Met a bunch of great people on this network. A lot of good friends. Some are still with us. Some have moved on to other clubs, and I'm still friends with them and hear them on the repeaters and see them at ham shows. So it's just good to be part of the radio community, and it's good to see the energy and the forward thinking with this club. So that's probably what I'm proud of. All right, back to you, Ned.
Well, I think that's one thing that resonates with me is the people that I have the opportunity to surround myself with as a part of North Georgia GMRS and North Georgia Amateur Radio Association. I've met some really fantastic people. I've met some people that I think are lifelong friends. I've met some people that have turned out to be short-time friends.
Mm-hmm.
But, I don't have any regrets. I'm glad to have had the experience. I'm glad to have been able to learn from the people that I surround myself with. It's just I don't know that I've ever been able to find a better bunch of quality individuals. And we've said it a million times, but it's the truth. We make contacts in amateur radio, but we build relationships in GMRS, and that's something that the FCC can't really take away from us.
Right.
There may be some limitations in our range now, but we still have the opportunity to develop those relationships. For the haters that hate on people for having a rag chew on GMRS, people that clearly don't comprehend
Right.
that you have functions on a radio that allow you to A, turn it down, B, turn it off, or C, change a channel.
Yep.
You can do that in GMRS radio, but some people are incapable of that, and they just get mad because of a rag chew that's going on.
Then complain that the repeaters are quiet.
Right.
In the next breath.
It can't get a word in edgewise when there are 22 and a half hours every day
Right.
of silence on our linked repeater network, but can't get a word in edgewise. Statistically, there's very, very little usage on that linked repeater network.
Yeah, well.
There's times of the day when it seems like it's heavy, but it's not heavy all day, all night.
Right.
And the idea that you can't get a word in, that's false. And I tell you, I've seen comments too where people are saying that they got cussed out at the Ham Fest, or they got cussed. Really? I don't know what Ham Fest you were at, but you weren't at any of the Ham Fests that we were at. Things that didn't happen. Some of the comments that I've seen are just so off the wall.
It's weird to take one person's interaction with another just because they're a member of that club doesn't mean they represent that club.
Oh, well, that's true.
There's a whole lot of people that are in clubs that they don't represent the whole club. And we're all individuals. We all have our different opinions and likes, dislikes. Two people could be really great people,
mm-hmm.
but just not like each other.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
It happens.
It does happen. And but let's break. But I think our experience in North Georgia GMRS for a lot of us has been that there's been a lot of really, really good relationships
Right.
that have been formed. because of the club and because of the opportunity to just be with people that are high quality people. It's something that, if you're not here, maybe you just don't understand, and it's something I don't think that hams really get, because they don't build the kind of relationships.
No, it's more of a small, as my experience, and I've not been a ham that long, so don't hold me against me. But most clubs aren't. What's the biggest ham club that you know of in the area?
Probably Atlanta Ham Club, or
how many people?
Or Stone Mountain, or even maybe Gars, but I don't know I don't know how big those are specifically as far as members.
Right.
But you have a club like Gars, you're going to have a core group of people that are very, very active.
Right.
And then you're going to have this periphery of inactive people. We have that too.
Right.
We have, with North Georgia GMRS, we have hundreds of people that are in our roster that you never hear on the air.
Right.
But they support what we do financially, and they do that because they appreciate what we do, and they want what we built to be available to them.
Right. Have access to it whenever they want to.
That's right. So
if they need to.
And I think that's probably true with a lot of ham clubs too. There's probably a lot of people that contribute financially. I contribute financially to a couple of ham clubs that are geographically too distant from me to even really
utilize.
Participate in. We do that. We do that
Right.
because we like people, we support people, we want
Right.
them to continue to do things that we think are good things. So, but I think that there's maybe a different balance in GMRS, and I think that all these various luncheons that happen throughout the region are a kind of a result of those relationships.
Right.
These are people that can't get enough of each other on the air and want
to meet and
want to
have
spend
lunch.
time face to face. So and there's lots of opportunities to do that. And if you're retired, you could maybe do them all.
Right.
But the challenge is figuring out what works out best. Probably Tuesday is the easiest one for me to do, even though I work full time, just because I'm so busy on the weekends.
Right.
But I definitely would love to hang out with everybody on their various luncheons. I think that would be very cool. But yeah, relationships. I think that's the biggest thing that we gain out of what we do here, and it's our opportunity to learn from other people, and grow as individuals. And
good hearing you, Mark. Appreciate it, bud.
Definitely. Hey, where are we at in the roster? Who's next?
Whoever's after Mark. It looks like it's
Rhino.
Rhino.
All right, so Kilo Romeo 4, Golf Whiskey Bravo. Rhino, any comments?
Well, good evening, Net Control. This is KR4 Golf Whiskey Bravo. I didn't know I was so high up on the log there. I can't believe we made it all the way through. This has been a great net. It's a good topic. I mean, it's a life topic. I mean, what's that saying? The only constant in life is change. And so I've gone through catastrophic changes in my life. I've gone through incredible and amazing changes in my life. One thing I learned for sure, I used to walk through life and I thought I knew what was going to happen, and then I experienced a series of things where it was proven to me that I don't know everything. I don't know what's going to happen, and sometimes that's the best possible option because I would have screwed it up. And it worked out great, as long without my input. So good topic, and it's been kind of crummy. It's always hard. Yeah, I am a guy who I have a hard time adjusting to change. I married a woman that wants to change the furniture where the furniture is every 2 or 3 weeks. She wants to move things around. Funny story. We have these like little small clear tables. Why someone would make a knee-high table clear, I have no idea, but she thinks it's cute next to this couch or that chair or in front of the bed or wherever. And I find myself these days just kind of sticking my foot out there first, feeling around, making sure I'm not about to bash my knee. But so I have a hard time adjusting to change. And, I've gotten better. But but there's opportunity because I have had some great conversations on each repeater. I can reach Buckhead, of course, and I can reach GMRS, Buckhead, Flagship Monument, now thanks to this really great Part 90 radio from Hobbit Communications. This thing is so band specific, it's awesome. And it gets up there and hears from there just fine. And McDonough also. I had a couple QSOs on McDonough too. So super neat. I'll be able to tune in down there whenever they have that. So I'd like to know when they're gonna broadcast that net down there. And that's actually, it just occurred to me when you mentioned that. I said, oh yeah, I guess you can have different nets now on the same night. So super cool. Great to hear everyone share. I also want to extend a congratulations to the new ham and the upgraded hams. I think that's awesome, man. It's super cool, and I hope this change does blossom into people who are absolutely capable. I mean, absolutely capable. I've got a guy in my ear right now pushing me, and sometimes that's what we need is that little bit of incentive. Let me cycle. So sometimes that's kind of what we need is a little bit of change to inspire growth, you know. So super neat net, and thanks for having me on. This is KR4 Golf Whiskey Bravo. Back to you, Net Control.
Good stuff there, Rhino. And yeah, I'm of all the things that we've got going on right now,
Right.
I think the thing that I'm the most excited about is the opportunity to VE for new hams.
Right.
I think that you know, and Ed had pointed out in the YouTube chat that like 45% of our membership are already hams.
Right. On the GMRS side.
On it, yeah. So, you know, and that's always been round about that 40 to 50% have always been hams within that group, and I've always thought that it wouldn't be cool if that could be 80% or something like that. And I still believe that to be true. I'd love to see that number change, that ratio change. And now we have a good reason to make it change. But still, GMRS is here to stay.
Right.
It's not going anywhere. And if GMRS is where you're at, if that's where your comfort is at, if that's where the utility of radio is at for you, because you know you're not interested in taking the test, you don't have the time to study, you don't have the you know that the mental makeup.
Right.
You know, there's a lot of people that are smart, but they're not book smart.
No, and it is the tech's not a hard test. Although I don't know what the new questions are like because they just changed in July, right? For the tech.
Yeah. So when the question pool changes,
yeah,
there's a percentage of the questions that don't change whatsoever. Exactly
really?
The same changes.
Okay.
And then there's another percentage of the questions where they change the verbiage. It's the same question, but they ask it a slightly different way. And then there's a very, very small percent of questions, something like 8 or 9%, that get retired, and these questions are no longer relevant or they're whatever, and they're thrown out and replaced with new material.
Right.
So the question pool is a new question pool, but if you were studying the old pool, you'd probably still pass.
That's good. But you talked about, too, is a lot of us are getting older now. We don't like change. But sometimes when we get forced to change, good things happen.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
We kind of get set in our ways, but Roger don't have to worry about that. He's still too young.
Well, no, I got new gray hair coming in every day.
Well, that don't mean you're old, though.
Well, the most change I can talk about is the Buck 98 and the spare change in the center console of the truck. But
I might have more than that. Hold on to those pennies.
You gotta keep a quarter for the Aldi shopping cart. Although I never use a shopping cart.
Okay.
You know, here's when you're going to Aldi, you find a box, you fill up the box. When a box is full, you gotta go.
Okay. Well, that's a good rule. Yeah.
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 Or was it little?
Yeah.
Same way.
They do the same way.
Or I'll take a bag in and just use that.
Yeah, I used to carry bags in the truck for that reason, and I would find myself in the store without the bag. But at Aldi, they encourage you to take a box.
Right. Well, they want to get rid of it, right?
Sure. Let's reset.
If I need ID too.
That's a good idea. Kilo November 4 Hotel Yankee November. My name is Justin.
November 4, Tango Victor Zulu, Tony.
And Kilo Romeo 4 Hotel Bravo Uniform, Rogers.
All right. I don't know how we got off on Aldi, but
We tend to go sideways sometimes,
yeah.
but hey. Good stuff, Rhino.
Yeah.
Good stuff, buddy.
So on the roster, we've just got a few more here. We've got Kilo Romeo 4 Echo Kilo Hotel Dan in Marietta. Dan and Julia. Dan, do you think Julia's ever going to get her tech? Are you gonna stay connected to GMRS so you can keep her involved?
Yeah, hi, this is Dan from Marietta. Well, I do love Julia, so I am going to stay connected to GMRS, but I'm doing everything I possibly can to get her get her technician license. And by the way, I want to congratulate those who passed the extra exam as well as the other exams this weekend, particularly you, Ed, and Jen. But anyway, yeah, I just want to say that I'm looking forward to seeing the North Georgia ARA expand. I'm looking forward to the changes. I want to see its capabilities grow, and hopefully I will be able to grow along with it and learn and talk more on the radio, participate, make new friends. I really enjoy the friends that I've made so far, and I really enjoy listening and participating in these nets. Back to you, Net Control.
Well, that's fantastic stuff, and I think this is a good case, a good example of the value that GMRS still holds.
Right.
So I believe that at some point Julia can certainly acquire a technician's license and be able to engage in ARA with the rest of us. And if it's a matter of engaging in a study session, we can do that.
Right.
We can do that. We just completed a 7-week study session for Amateur Extra, and if all you've got is an hour and a half or 2 hours a weekend to be able to devote to that, it's going to take 7 or 8 weeks to get your extra. And the trouble with 7 or 8 weeks is, by the time you take your test, some of that material was 7 or 8 weeks ago.
Yeah, it's a little hard to retain all that.
Pretty tough. We can do a ham cram, and do a technician test in a weekend. We can spend about 4 hours on a Saturday, and about 3 more hours on a Sunday with study, followed by a test. And those programs tend to be pretty successful. So there's no long-term retention there. It's just a matter of cramming your brain with a heck of a lot of information in a short time. And, there are programs that do that are very successful. So if you have an opportunity to do that and you can devote a weekend to it, do. Yeah. And I'm not opposed to hosting something like that. So if that's something that interests you, we can talk about it. The general, so much of the material that you study for technician overlaps with the general.
Right.
A lot of that is the same material. Now the general does expand on technician, so it's not exactly the same, but a good part of it overlaps. So if you've taken the technician, you are most of the way toward your general, just a little bit further, and you can have that general. So I always recommend when you take the test, once you pass your amateur technician test, when the VE offers you the opportunity to take the general, take the general.
Just take it.
Just do that. Will you pass? Maybe not. I missed it. I didn't know. I didn't study at all.
Right.
I missed it by one question.
Wow.
Without any study. So that's why I say I believe that a lot of that material overlaps, and you are most of the way toward having your general license once you've taken the test for your technician. But there again, study is different for different people, and if a classroom environment or a study guide or a leader that can coach you through some of this material is something that can help, that's something we can do.
Because everybody learns differently.
Yeah.
It just happens that way. And then I'm glad there's a lot of different ways. Book, from a hardback book, you can study that, or you can go online and study. Let us break.
Yep. Let's take Jim Reed, for example.
Yeah.
We were 5 weeks into our 7-week course.
Right.
And Jim decided, I'm just going to go ahead and take the test now.
Right.
And so Jim was actually able to be one of the VEs for the test session that we held over the weekend. So,
Nice.
And same with Melissa. Knowing that we were having a hard time finding all the VEs that we needed to be able to test,
Right.
she tested early.
Okay.
And so we didn't have to find a VE to be able to cover for her.
Right.
We ended up having them, and it would have been fine. But it's also, I mean, the study guide works for a lot of people. It didn't really work for Jim.
Right.
It wasn't fast enough for him.
That's Jim.
Yeah.
Jim
He
even
needed
reads
to move.
fast.
He needed to move at a different pace. And
Hope you're
so-
listening, Jim.
Yeah. But yeah, good stuff, and it's true that everybody is a little bit different. So Dan, hopefully we can make something work, and even if we can't, nothing's going to happen with the GMRS. That's going to be there for the long haul, and I think that that's good stuff. Next on the list we have Randall Kilo Romeo for
No, he was
laughing out loud. He was
a relay.
right?
What? Yeah, he was a relay.
So we're going to blow right past Randall. He never answers when I call anyway.
No,
so
no.
we're just going to.
He's just laughing out loud behind the scenes.
I'm sure that he is right about now. So we're going to go next to Kilo Romeo 4, Mike Oscar Yankee, Bill in Cave Spring. Bill, what do you think about the changes?
Net control, KR4 MOY. It's all good. I'm about like some of the folks. I can't hit the flagship repeater during the summertime with all the leaves, but fall's coming up, and there's a new tower sitting out here that ain't went up yet, and I'm sure that's going to help. But just glad I went ahead and took my technician's test and got that under my belt when I did, and I did take the general when I took, and I missed it by like 2 questions. So, yeah, it can be done even for a 65-year-old man. Enjoy the net night, guys. Good net. KR4 MOY, clear.
All right, good stuff. Well, that does bring us to the end of the roster. But yeah, 65.
Yeah.
I think that the spring chicken, often has the softer, more malleable brain, but us older folks,
right,
can figure it out too. So, and you don't ever have to take that test again.
Never.
You're good. So, but yeah, here's the thing. At the end of all of this is that we're able to enjoy one another, and that we're able to enjoy this magic of radio and the technology and the wonder, and I mean, just putting a signal into the air. It's just all magic.
Pushing a button and talking to somebody miles away.
I mean, we get the same kind of magic. All right, it's a radio.
Yeah.
At the core of everything that this is, it's a computer attached to a radio.
Right.
And everything that happens in it is digital, which is very different from analog.
Right.
And these things they're so good now.
And those who can't see, Justin's holding up the cell phone.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, oops.
For those that are actually on radio, they're so good now compared to what they were even just a handful of years ago.
Oh yeah, there is.
We've had everything from the flip phones to the candy bar phones.
Yep.
We've had the bag phones. The technology has just continuously improved, and we've gotten to the point where we've had some really, really small phones.
Right.
And now we're going back to bigger and bigger phones.
Well, it could just be you and I needing the bigger font because we can't see very well.
I still can't see on this thing.
We got to raise the font level up.
I can't do web pages on a phone. If it's like going to the bank and doing bank stuff on
right.
I'm gonna wait till I get home and I can sit down in front of a computer. I get so frustrated with not being able to navigate and be able to see well. And but anyway,
we have a lot of YouTube we still need to call out.
Let's check in with Ed, see if there are any additional YouTube comments, and when we're done with that, we're going to go ahead and take another round of RF check-ins. So stand by for that, and then we'll acknowledge some of these YouTube check-ins. So Let's go to Ed, and then we'll go to RF check-ins. We come back, we'll go ahead and identify.
Well, Justin, lots of check-ins, but a little light on comments this afternoon or this evening. So nothing really to share. There have been a little bit of commenting back and forth, but nothing, I think, for the whole crowd.
All right. Well, very good. And you did bring some comments from the chat earlier, and it's always great to have that interaction.
Right.
Love to see what people out there in the world of YouTube have to say. And, many of the YouTube check-ins are from right here in our own neighborhood, but I also see Tennessee and Florida. I see
Texas,
North Carolina, Oklahoma, Texas, Waco, Texas. So and we've got lots of other points along the way. Glad to have all of you along, and hey, like and subscribe, and all the stuff that the YouTube folks are supposed to say to get the to
get the clicks or something.
Do all those things.
Right.
And we appreciate having you along. And if you do have comments, just throw them down in the chat there, and if I see them, I'll go ahead and acknowledge them over the air, or Ed will let us know, and he will help bring your comments to light if they are interesting. So, all right, and did we identify?
We didn't.
We need to identify. Kilo November 4, Hotel Yankee November. My name is Justin.
November 4, Tango Victor Zulu, Tony.
And Kilo Romeo 4, Hotel Bravo Uniform, Rogers.
And with that, we're going to go ahead and open up for any additional RF check-ins, and if you
or YouTube, if you want to check in on YouTube, you're late coming.
Keep
throw your
right
name
on,
out there.
Keep right on with that. And when we come back, we'll acknowledge the RF check-ins and the YouTube check-ins. But any additional check-ins, any questions or comments? Net Control standing by.
KR4 Golf Whiskey Bravo with a question.
All right, looks like that's going to be it.
Who's that? Ed's got one he wants to share. All right, Ed.
All right, Rhino, heard your comment there for a question, and we didn't hear any other check-ins. So I want to go to Ed, and I believe Ed did find a comment in the chat that he wants to bring. Ed, what have you got?
Yeah, thanks, Justin. There was one that I think for the RF side that may not be logged on to YouTube that didn't see, but there was a comment about third-party content and how you can transmit on ham bands even if you don't have a amateur radio license if you are in the presence of a licensed operator. And while that's true, and it doesn't resolve the issue of somebody that doesn't have a ham license, it is a great way, and I wanted to share that, it is a great way for people that maybe are on the fence or don't have their license but are thinking about it, to try it out and test drive it, if you will. So I just thought that was a great comment.
Yeah, I think it is, and it is a great way to get that experience of the magic of being on the air. But what it doesn't really address is the situation where your spouse is going to run to the supermarket and
you forgot your phone.
You forgot your phone, and you want to be able to check in and find out if it was 2% milk or whole milk or what were you supposed to get, only to find out it was you went to the store to get heavy cream.
Exactly.
So having that alternative communication is
nice. It's a backup. It's, but.
And you can't do that as a third-party communication because in that scenario, you're not in the presence of a licensed ham. So that's where GMRS shines. That's where That's where the difference is between what we can do in GMRS radio that hams can't do, and oftentimes hams don't really have a good view of, because their operating experience is so different.
Right. They never think of it needing it in that way.
That's right.
They're just making that other contact and all that. They might have the little rag chew on the way home, between a couple buddies on the ham side, but that's about it. There's no calling the wife to, hey, I forgot my phone. What did you need?
And it's a wonderful alternative means of communication. And even if you didn't forget the phone, sometimes it's just fun to be able to engage on the radio. And yeah, so you're on the radio, you're on our linked repeater network, and you're talking about 2% milk or heavy cream. Who cares? Well, you know what? Every radio I've ever seen has 3 options on them.
Right.
and those options exist also in YouTube. If you don't like what you're experiencing on the channel, you don't have to be here.
Right.
And if you really, really strongly don't like it, you can give it the thumbs down, but it doesn't really mean anything. Did you know, in terms of the YouTube algorithm, a thumbs up or a thumbs down carries the same weight?
On the count of
it's
the
interaction.
algorithm.
It's interaction.
It's interaction.
Yep.
So go ahead and give us the thumbs down. That's okay.
Yep.
I'll take it.
Yep. Oh, well, right. But hey, we'll be here next week, too.
We sure will. So definitely will. All right. With that, I'm going to go ahead and acknowledge some of these. We got to go to Rhino. We can't forget Rhino. Rhino had a question.
How could you forget Rhino?
Well, I didn't. I just said we were going to go to Rhino.
Okay.
Rhino, what's your question?
Oh, not... Okay.
KR4 Golf Whiskey Bravo. I almost forgot. I got into that comment from Ed there. Oh, but just a side comment. Just curious, and I know there had been mention of it before, but on the ARA side, any news on EchoLink? Oh, you had mentioned DMR earlier, which I'm thrilled about. I love the idea of DMR. I was playing around with some Fusion C4 FM. Just curious if there's any work on bringing EchoLink to the North Georgia ARA.
Well, yes, and last week, I think it was last week, I had made mention that EchoLink is something that we can expect in the first quarter of next year. But then, while I was talking, Gary sent a text and said, no, not first quarter of next year. He promises we'll have it by November.
Nice.
So EchoLink is on the horizon,
exceeding expectations daily.
And it's
November
coming
this year?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Well, I'm pretty sure he meant this year.
Oh, well, we're just. Now it's on you, Gary.
That's a game I used to. That's a game I used to play with the dispatchers when we were going to cut things over.
Yeah.
And there's a big project coming up, and they have an awareness of it. And when are we going to do this? We're going to do it on Tuesday. Tuesday? Really? Tuesday? Not this Tuesday.
Not this Tuesday.
Which Tuesday?
But when it comes, it's going to come on a Tuesday. and I did that specifically because I knew that Tuesday was the lowest traffic day of the week on that particular division. That doesn't fly in Atlanta, but back on the division, up on the Lake Division, Tuesday was the day because that was our lowest traffic day.
Pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today.
So yeah,
there is one YouTube comment.
The projects were always on Tuesday.
That last one there, I don't know if you can answer that, or if you know anything about that.
I don't know anything about that.
Okay.
So if someone has engaged in a conversation with Gary, then continue that conversation. I'm out of the loop on that one. I'm going to say it is absolutely plausible.
Yeah.
I don't know any reason why something like that wouldn't come to be, but I have no specific awareness for it. So that is interesting, and I think that would definitely be something that we would take a look at. So. And that's the key, right? Any location that we go to, at this point, we're not going to go out knocking on doors asking if we can be on a repeater,
right? Or a tower.
We on a tower. We're really past that,
right?
But if there's a reason for us to be someplace, and we're invited to go there, then it's something we'll definitely take a look at. We're not really on the hunt for. We're not hungry to go. We've got to go find more sites. Got to go find. But if a site comes up and it's a good site, and the deal is right,
Right.
we'll take a look at that. Sometimes these sites they want commercial rates.
Yeah, they want commercial money.
And you know we're just not going to be able to justify.
Well, it's hard to pass that cost on.
It makes it tough for everything else that you do. So when so much of the money is being allocated for one resource, and that's one of the things that comes into play each year when we talk about locations and existing locations and new locations. Let's reset. All right, and we did talk about acknowledging this last round of YouTube check-ins. So I've got a little checkbox here where I think I left off.
I think so.
So it looks like next in the roster here, it seems like I've already called this, but maybe not. We've got November 4, Echo Foxtrot Golf, Scott. Used to be from Atlanta, but he's at his new home in North Carolina. Glad to have you along.
The former Scott 194.
That's plausible. I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah. Okay.
He did mention before he left that he was going to be leaving, and so thanks for remaining with us, even though you're not on the air with us. It's glad to have you along on YouTube. We've got Russell from Dawsonville, GMRS call sign WSMD 525. CW7 is another GMRS. That's a GMRS member. Neil in Athens. Kilo Romeo 4 Lima Zulu Alpha Frank in Alpharetta. Frank's also a GMRS member. We've got Lamar, Kilo Mike 4 Uniform Echo Charlie. Lamar's in Dawsonville, checking in on YouTube. We've got the Velvet Elvis, and that would be Ronnie from Las Vegas.
Las Vegas.
Ronnie is Kilo Romeo 4 Lima Delta Romeo. We've got William in Roswell, Kilo Oscar 4 Echo Alpha Juliet. We've got Mike from right here in Woodstock. Mike's a neighbor. He's almost next door.
Is he?
Yeah. Mike is Kilo Romeo 4 Lima Papa X-Ray. We've got Bruce from Waleska, November 4 Alpha Lima Delta. We've got Brett in Central Florida, Kilo Sierra 4 Yankee Uniform Alpha. We've got a brand new GMRS license from Bobby in Middle Tennessee. He is WSN X971, and Don in Columbus, Georgia is Kilo Quebec 4 Yankee Golf Charlie. Those are the check-ins that we have at this time, and that rounds out our roster for this evening. So good participation and good check-ins tonight.
Good round.
So
I'd like to see those YouTube ones.
Yeah, it's fun to get the feedback too off of YouTube. So
do we?
and Scott did acknowledge that he's Atlanta 194.
Right.
Okay, so
nice.
Good call there, Rogers. All right. Well, that's I think going to wrap things up.
Well, wait.
Speaking
of change, we do have the credits at some point.
Well, let's go ahead and roll credits. So that's going to happen here. Once I get to the part of the roster that says this concludes.
Right.
Where is that roster? I think it's right here. I don't get to say this concludes. That's your line.
Oh, this concludes the bi-weekly NG ARA Regional Net.
Next week on the North Georgia GMRS Network, we're going to talk about...
What is the topic? I have no idea.
It's an emergency topic.
Oh, it's an emergency food, water, and...
No, that's not right.
No, that we did
We talked about that one already.
Do we know how to do a net?
Obviously not. And it's not there.
It's not there?
No. We'll figure it out. We'll have a topic next week. It's going to be a preparedness-oriented topic. September is Preparedness Month. Let me break. So as the credits roll, check that out. Oh, we got to start them over. As the credits roll on a screen that you can't see. But September is National Preparedness Month. We'll be doing preparedness-oriented nets throughout the month.
All right. So is it me again?
I think it's you again.
We would like to thank all of you for allowing us to serve as your net controller this evening. A special thanks to the North Georgia Amateur Radio Association for the use of this network, Linked Network. Be sure to like and subscribe on the YouTube channel, and a reminder, comments in the chat show interaction with the channel and go a long way to help towards making the channel grow. Share the YouTube channel with your friends and family and help spread the word.
Well, good night, everyone. This is Kilo Romeo 4, Hotel Bravo Uniform, Rogers.
Kilo November 4, Hotel Yankee November. Justin.
I don't know why I didn't go. November 4, Tango Victor Zulu, Tony.
And we are North Georgia Amateur Radio Association.
Yay. And we are clear. Good night, everyone.
Night, everybody.
Hey!